Do you know that industrialization is not the be-all and end-all of economic growth? While industrialization has long been hailed as the primary driver of economic development, there are a number of nations that have emerged as trailblazers, challenging this conventional wisdom. They have achieved economic success without relying heavily on industrialization, like Switzerland, renowned for its precision engineering, or the software hub of Ireland, the sustainable model of Bhutan, the financial powerhouse of Luxembourg, and even New Zealand. All of these countries have proven that industrialization is not the only path to a strong economy. And today we focus on the intriguing case study of New Zealand that has successfully debunked the myth that industrialization is essential for economic prosperity. So prepare to have your economic beliefs turned upside down. Industrialization has long been considered the cornerstone of economic development. The rise of manufacturing, large-scale production, and technological advancements have shaped the economies of numerous nations. However, countries like New Zealand have built robust and diverse economies that consistently rank among the world's best economies. In fact, this small island nation, often referred to as the land of the long white cloud, has a large GDP for its population of 5 million, and sources of revenue are spread throughout the large island nation. The official estimate for New Zealand's GDP was $225 billion at the end of 2022, while World Economics estimates New Zealand's GDP to be $248 billion, 10% larger than official estimates by the end of this year. The country has one of the most globalized economies and depends greatly on international trade, mainly with Australia, Canada, China, the European Union, Japan, Singapore, South Korea, and the United States. However, in order to understand the nation's trajectory towards a robust economy, we must delve into its historical context, so let's start from there. New Zealand was a wealthy, dynamic, and agrarian society in the 19th century, and the country experienced a surge in industrialization in the 19th century, primarily driven by the extraction of natural resources such as timber and gold. Later, the introduction of sheep farming in the 1850s gave a more enduring boost to the economy. Then, in the early 1880s, after the introduction of refrigeration, New Zealand foodstuffs found their way onto the dinner tables of working-class families in Britain. Moreover, in the beginning of the 20th century, when World War I disrupted agricultural production in Europe, it created robust demand for New Zealand's primary exports. However, the global economic downturn in 1929-1930 was transmitted to New Zealand, and meat freezing works, woolen mills, and dairy factories were caught in the spiral of decline. And rather than doubling down on industrialization, the country chose a different path. It embraced innovation, technology, and its rich natural resources to forge a new economic identity as a post-industrial nation. The country searched for alternative export markets and diversified its economy. From the 1980s to 1990s, large-scale industrial plants were established based on New Zealand's abundant natural gas. A new range of products for export such as ammonia, urea, fertilizer, methanol, and petrol were produced. And New Zealand changed from a somewhat closed and centrally controlled economy to one of the most open economies in the OECD. Moreover, the entry of Britain into the European community in the early 1970s also forced New Zealand to expand its trade relations with other countries. So overall, it was the decisions and policies of the 19th and 20th centuries underpinning the success of New Zealand's economy. Now, coming back to the factors behind New Zealand's success or the drivers behind its thriving economy despite having a small industrial sector. Well, number one, agriculture and horticulture. One of the key pillars of New Zealand's economic success has been its thriving agricultural and horticultural sector. The country's fertile lands and temperate climates have provided ideal conditions for the production of high-quality dairy products, meat, wine, and fruits. Agriculture has become a major contributor to the nation's GDP, exports, and employment opportunities. In the year ended March 2022, the gross domestic product of this industry amounted to over $13.5 billion New Zealand dollars. Number two, tourism. Another significant driver of New Zealand's economy is tourism. The nation's breathtaking natural beauty, showcased in films like the Lord of the Rings series, has attracted visitors from around the world. Tourism has become a vital sector, contributing substantially to export earnings and job creation. As of March 2022, tourism generated a direct contribution to GDP of $10 billion, or 3% of GDP, with an increase of 1.3% from previous years. While the indirect value added of industries supporting tourism generated an additional $6.6 billion or 2% of GDP. New Zealand has also fostered a vibrant creative sector, including film, music, arts and design. Internationally acclaimed movies like Whale Rider and Once Were Warriors have showcased the country's artistic talent. The creative industries not only contribute to the economy but also foster cultural expression and national identity. Number 3. Knowledge and technology. Similarly, investments in education, research and technology have been instrumental in driving New Zealand's economic growth. The country boasts world-class universities and research institutes, cultivating a culture of knowledge, creation and entrepreneurship. This focus on intellectual capital has attracted foreign investment, bolstered innovation and contributed to the growth of technology-driven sectors. Number 4. Sustainable practices. Another crucial aspect of New Zealand's economy is its focus on sustainable practices. It's a small country with a big climate agenda. The nation's commitment to environmental conservation, renewable energy and responsible resource management resonates with socially and environmentally conscious investors. This alignment of sustainable practices with economic development has positioned New Zealand as an attractive destination for responsible investments. In fact, 2022 Sustainable Trade Index ranks New Zealand first of 30 economies that undertake international trade in a manner that supports long-term global sustainable development. The index assesses 3 core pillars: economic growth, environmental production, and societal development. Number 5. Transparent policies and strong framework. Lastly, one of the key factors contributing to New Zealand's economic strength is its policy framework, which has consistently demonstrated a high degree of economic resilience. The nation's commitment to the rule of law and openness to global trade and investment has been firmly institutionalized, making it an attractive destination for foreign investors. New Zealand's transparent and stable investment climate has played a crucial role in attracting foreign direct investment. New Zealand's exporters have successfully tapped into global networks, leveraging their niche products such as dairy, meat, wine, and high-value agricultural goods to capture a share of the global market. So, the economy of New Zealand has actually benefited from not being overly dependent on industrialization. One advantage is that it has enabled the nation to focus solely on its resources, such as forestry and agriculture. This has helped to build a strong and a prosperous economy that's less vulnerable to economic shocks. Additionally, New Zealand's economy has been able to adapt to changing global economic conditions, such as expanding its trade relations with other countries. However, it's important to mention here that New Zealand has faced a number of economic downturns in the past few years as well, but it always manages to deal with them effectively and it's always made some successful economic efforts. For instance, everyone remembers how quickly New Zealand's economy recovered from the COVID-19 shocks thanks to effective virus containment, measures to protect jobs and incomes, and highly expansionary macroeconomic policies, ending the year with an overall economic expansion of 0.4%, better than the predicted 1.7% contraction. As a matter of fact, currently New Zealand has been facing several economic challenges, including expensive housing, high cost of living, and slow productivity growth. And while New Zealand's economic troubles are here to stay, the country's successful economic efforts have shown that it has the potential to overcome these challenges and maintain its economic resilience. So what can we learn from the case of New Zealand is that, with strategic planning, innovative thinking and a focus on sustainable practices, nations can forge their path to economic success even without relying heavily on industrialization. Join us next time as we continue to challenge assumptions, unravel myths, and explore the untold stories that shape our understanding of the global economy. Until then, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep pushing the boundaries of what is possible in the world of economics.